creating the scalp map. No, we are not. We are creating parts of it. We have navigation, weapon and O2.
Lake claim.
It's not that I not tried the scalp map from Among Us, but it was just insane. And so I decided to divide this whole map into different parts. In this video we'll focus on just 3 rooms, well, painting some stars on the sky. Let's dive into the game, the Skelt. Let's see, we have weapons, which I really love. We have O2, which I also love a lot because of the plants inside, and navigation, which is somehow essential. There you go, we have 3 rooms and I printed them out. The idea is to create a basic structure with cardboard and then adding some beautiful details with clay, of course. It looks like I am only using 2 label papers, but the truth is I printed out like 10 of these until it worked. I was struggling a lot with the printer this week, and after I fixed the printer I was struggling a lot with the perspective of this map, because it doesn't make sense. We will have a close look at the different rooms, but you will see quite quickly that the walls, the perspective of the game itself is not logically. The gameplay uses a certain angle of perspective at the ship. It let us see the floor and the wall behind. The floor has the perspective from bird's eye view, while the walls appear crooked. You see that? The pattern on the ground, no distortions. The pattern and elements on the wall crooked like hell. Screw the map designer! Did he even think about poor clay creators who would one day try to build his map with clay or cardboard? Did he even try to make it logically? No. I think he did it on purpose, to make it impossible to create... Well, let's see. At least I have my hot glue gun to make impossible things possible. Great.
2,000 years later.
The solution I came up with looks like this. I will attach the walls and all the different clay elements later as if the rooms would be built correctly. This will give us a different result in the end compared to the gameplay, but at least it makes it possible to build. Now we are wrapping around the walls and we will add some beautiful wallpapers to the cardboard walls. Just making sure that the 2 pieces don't fall apart. This was the most difficult room to understand, because it has 2 different levels. We have these pipes in the weapons room, these tubes on the ground on a different level, and this is the reason why I decided to make the walls a little bit higher and also to make some space under the floor for some secret tunnels. Yeah, is this the Wi-Fi button where the astronauts just push? No, it's not. I can't remember which task was connected to this spot. Now, look at that. We don't even need real windows. We just use this beautiful wallpaper. Did I already mention that the map designer is a really bad person? The back side of the walls, which can't be seen right now, also need beautiful wallpapers. I just printed out my walls a second time and made it work. Now that we finished the cardboard part, let's jump over to the clay details. This is the part of the video where I feel a little bit more confident, because this is my material after all. We take some black, we mix it with white and the dark navy, is it navy? Windsor blue. And we have this bluish gray for the chairs, but also for some other parts of the interior. We have 3 chairs in the navigation room, you probably know this, all the same size, and then we have all the instruments with the tiny blue displays. For the instruments I threw in some more silver and white, and we get this beautiful space silver. Did I already mention that the map designer is a terrible person? No, he's not. You did a beautiful job on the design, but the perspective? This is no choice of art, this is a torture. So this is the first display. We have bright blue. After oven hardening, we will paint some information, some details on the screens with the white pen, but we will add some buttons first. Some clay buttons. Beautiful. While working on the console, I was thinking about the functions for each and every button, and I will tell you the story behind each and every button. No, just kidding. But it would be funny to think about what these buttons are doing to the ship, which maneuver the ship would perform. We have the joystick in the middle. The 2 handles will be glued and attached to the joystick after oven hardening. And we have the second console. And maybe there's also a third one, which we can't see because, you guess it, of the perspective. Thanks a lot, map designer. These are the last details for the navigation room. And we are ready to put this aside and work on the weapons room. Okay, we start with the first floor. We have these tiny consoles which we will hang to the wall, and then this is the platform with the stairs and also the seat right in the middle, and the gigantic floating screen to use the weapons. I really love this mini game inside Among Us. I think it's my favorite by far. We have some red clay for all the tubes. This is the color cherry red. Cherry red. You get it in our online store, clayclaim.com as well. And we have the Fall Guys. We have now the Fall Guys set also in our online store. So give it a try. There is even a Tic Tac, pack of Tic Tacs included. They should be quite easy to create, the Fall Guys or the astronauts. Yeah. Fall Guys, I am planning on a crazy tutorial for next week. Hopefully the map designers on Fall Guys don't screw with me. Well, at least I have a 3D model inside the game, which makes a gigantic difference. Oh boy, this looks like a bullet. A bullet from a pistol. Yes. And we are adding some red lines. It's also part of the weapons room, and probably this is the generator for the enormous weapon to shoot the different asteroids in space. And we just mixed this beautiful color for the tubes in the basement, in the cellar, depending on where you're from. Attaching another tube, making a beautiful connection. And then we can add these tiny lights onto the tubes. And yes, first I thought about using some real LEDs, but well, there was a map designer who decided to give me a really hard time this week to finish this creation, and so I decided to finish it at all and not focus on some LED lights. We need some transparent stuff. I'm not really sure how to create the showcase where we will put in the plant, which is then producing O2. I'm not really confident that this will work. Let's give it a try. Oops. Oh, look at that. I knew I had something like this. Okay, you have to go. Look for a new home. And we have a beautiful display. We just need to give you a cover. Beautiful. It somehow reminded me of the Leviathan skin video from Fortnite, which I made. I used this acrylic tiny ball. I filled in some blue water, and this clay fish was floating inside, and it looked just insane. And somehow it reminded me of this. It was a beautiful creation. I enjoyed this a lot. Now I am comparing the different size of the tubes in the room connected to the walls. Then we have these 3 gigantic pipes on the lower part, and these are some vents, some openings for each tube. Each tube has 2 of these. And it should really look beautiful after oven hardening when we will glue it together. And this is the lever with the handle, which we will stick to the wall. And now let's focus on the plant, the O2 plant, which does nothing but grow and produce O2 in the ship. That's true. Because this is what plants do in a spaceship. I really hope that I am still alive when one day some spaceships are going to different planets and people are growing plants on like Mars or Venus. I'm wondering what a clay tutorial would look like on Mars. We are ready to go into the oven. Time to think about that. Freshly baked! Well, interior of the spaceship. And I will use the white pen. We're gluing together the joystick and we can place it into the navigation room. Look at that. Now we have 2 further chairs and at least another console, because we can see if there is another one. The map designer decided so. Well, but beautiful design after all. It's beautiful, just perfect. Now let's glue these tiny consoles to the wall. And we have the security cam, of course, in this area. So don't kill anybody right there. Tiny buttons. And sorry, buddy, you have to go inside this display. This is another vent. I've never been the imposter, I swear. So I don't really know if these vents can be used as secret tunnels. I was just killed right in front of it. So I'll guess so. Now this looks beautiful, our bullet. It looks like a bullet. And these are the tubes in the underground. I have to admit this railing was very difficult to create with clay. No blame on the map designer. This is just a regular railing I had problems with. But it looks quite beautiful right now, doesn't it? Gluing it into the room that nobody falls down and hurts himself or would be killed. What about this floating display? I have an idea for this. Just give me a sec. We have the crosshair and some further details and a frame. This looks like a frame. And we will glue it just on one corner that it looks like as if it is floating in the air. Guys, the scout map from Among Us! Well, at least 3 rooms, navigation weapons and O2!